All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the true power with General Sarah Soon said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Soon said YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is. Black Power, Black Frequency. If you're feeling that frequency and energy, you should most definitely join, become a member. Link right there in the video description is in the chat. Click that. It says join. Click that link. You get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Soon Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. KingSeti.com, 25% off selected items at this time. Save and shop, shop and save. Pull the fire alarm, GeneralSeti.com, SETI University, over 1,200 videos are nothing but pure heat and fire presented by General SETI himself. All the subjects that you know and love from the general. Plus, we got the supplemental, also monumental and instrumental research material from the grandmasters. I give you an overview on all that material, giving you 360 degrees of supreme African academic knowledge and wisdom that cannot be compared to by any other website on the planet. I want you on to become a member today. GeneralSeti.com, SETI University. And everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come. Exclusive live stream, too hot to handle on YouTube, too raw for YouTube. I'm going live tonight. You should be in the house. I got some straight fire for your family. Don't you dare miss it. You want to be able to stick your hand down in a treasure chest of wisdom and knowledge that cannot be compared to on this planet. And I'm guaranteeing you that. So check out the menu and be amazed. Become a patron and thank me later. To all the family out there donated to the general, I want to thank you. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate me. Any of the family out there would like to donate to the general, link right down in the video description. It's in the chat. Click that link, donate, and I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King SETI, General SETI, Sarah Soon SETI. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, share with your family and friends, and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Now, this particular presentation, we are talking about the fathers of the Aboriginal Black Indian myth. This is a classic that I've done that, I have to bring this information up because a lot of people don't understand the occult background of this information. I'm gonna make you privy to this information. I'm gonna put this right here before you. I want you to deal with it. You understand? Because the facts, of what peoples is trying to speak out here about the Mayan or any type of civilization on this continent, either one, South or North America, being older than Africa, is a bunch of bullshit. And we have to just deal with that. I don't give a goddamn. You can fall for the mystical, magical shit if you want to. The shit that we break down cannot be refuted. Now, if you got some magicians of the tongue, motherfuckers that, they got to talk you into it. A lot, you see, what we don't have to do a whole lot of talking because their goddamn evidence is over there mocking time. You see, and when you got, just like Walter Williams, we got topsoil evidence that cannot be refuted. We're not talking about somebody hoping that somebody digs some shit up. Our shit standing on top of the ground, 40 stories high, megalithic structures that don't need nobody's interpretation. And so when you got them type of artifacts, where we don't need you to interpret shit. But see, this is where these niggas come in. Because everybody else, I don't give a fuck what philosophy they got or history that they got to talk you into it. You see what I'm saying? But when you go to Africa, the megalithic structures is so goddamn shocking to the mind. Don't need no instruction or no interpretation. It don't need no interpretation. It is. You see? It is. Everybody else got to, we see these niggas talking about Egypt in America and all this shit. You understand? If it was a goddamn Egypt in America, motherfucker, show me the megalithic evidence. Great or greater than what you see in Egypt. Now, this is the same shit that these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals in the Theosophic Society, because this is where this garbage come from. And I'm gonna just put this shit out of here. Now you had certain you could call them theosophists. You see what I'm saying? On the fringe of what you call today occult knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of time, a lot of time they say occult means hidden. And a lot of it need to stay hidden. It don't need to be brought forward because it's a bunch of bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Now, I personally give credit what credit is due. You see what I'm saying? I seen the evidence of, great civilization in America, or the Olmecs. They was the greatest. They was the greatest. We don't have to argue that fact. You see what I'm saying? They were doing shit that no other civilization could do. Why we got to argue that? You see what I'm saying? Why we got to argue that? And you understand, in order to have reached that level, that means that they had to been dealing with the sciences and the arts far longer than anybody else to have achieved that kind of skill. We don't need to interpret that. You see what I'm saying? We don't need to interpret that. So when you see a motherfucker, just like, I did, I was doing Battle of the Nations. You see what I'm saying? I was doing Battle of the Nations. And, and what I'll do is I'll take the top 10, I'll take the top 20 temples of each nation, and I'll put them against each other. You see what I'm saying? In dating and in grandeur. And I mean, literally, man, it's just like, there is no motherfucking comparison. It's not even fucking close. I don't even know it ain't even close. And we ain't talking about it ain't close by 100 years. It's not close by tens of thousands of years. It ain't even close. So what the fuck is we talking about? You see what I'm saying? When you could just take I say the top 20 temples or the top greatest megalithic structures in the land. If you want to do it literary, we could do it literary. It don't make no difference. You see what I'm saying? However you want to do it, we could do it. And there's no way you can stand up. So how is it that any other land, I'm talking about any other continent, can try to claim to be more ancient than Africa? You understand what I'm saying? This is what what the confusion is that, you got black peoples, and we understand we are using the term in the sense. We're talking about, and we understand what we're talking about. We're talking about woolly head, dark-skinned people. You understand? It's only one people on the planet like that. And we could tell the difference between some originals and some motherfucking, somebody that just got a little black in their blood. We're not talking about that. We all know what that is. Let's not dwell on that too much. So when we say black, we know what the fuck we talking about. Now, how in the fuck is you gonna have black people in the Americas and in Africa that damn near look the same? You understand what I'm saying? In many instances, damn near look the same. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfuckers talking about that we don't look the same. That's a goddamn lie, because Africa is has many different sons and daughters. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just the reality. But the truth of the matter, that regardless to what they look like, they know no other land other than Africa as they primary origin. They don't know no other. You ain't never seen them. And the fact is, the first place you seen them was in Africa. And when you look at a mass majority of them, the mass majority of them is in Africa. Okay, imagine hundreds of millions of people migrating from somewhere else. When you look at, usually when you see a mass majority of motherfuckers in one area, that mean they've been there for a minute. They ain't just, they've been there for a motherfucking minute. Ain't no billions or no motherfuckers just migrated from some guy. They've been there for a period of time. Okay, and so in this consciousness of where we at, we have never known no other place other than Africa where you got billions of Africans that look like black woolly hair. That is the continent with the most majority of them. And usually where you find the most majority of a people, that's their origin. I mean, goddamn, what's so hard about that? When you look at European people, the majority of them motherfuckers is, and they ain't even Europeans, but Asia or Northern Asian. You see what I'm saying? Siberia, Russia, that's where the fuck they come from. That's where the majority of their people is. Okay? That's where the majority is. It's not in Africa. The majority of white people is not in Africa. The majority of white people is not in Southern Asia. And you got a mass of white people in America. That's about the only other land that they got a mass amount, but it still don't equal the amount that's in Europe and in Northern Asia. It don't. So that's their origin. You see what I'm saying? That's where they've been for a primary. Now, when you start talking about, the Americas is the last land mass. You see what I'm saying? That where you start to see a great civilizations rise up. You don't hear the other civilizations mention anything over here. So either they hadn't gotten over here, you understand what I'm saying? But looking at the breaking down the civilization, many attributes cannot be refuted at all. It is no way you're going to think you're going to get away with explaining. I mean, we talking about advanced information, building them damn pyramids and shit. I saw it for myself. You understand? By going to Egypt and going to the Americas, to them period, it was shit that I saw for myself. I say, damn, you know what I'm saying? I've been in the pyramids in Africa, and then I went into some of the pyramids, and they had, the ceiling, the same architecture. Goddamn doubt about it. How the fuck is you see goddamn skyscrapers in America, and then you go to goddamn Saudi Arabia just 50 years ago. Them motherfuckers you could go watch the goddamn videos of Saudi Arabia. Them motherfuckers they didn't have a building no higher than 3 stories, and them motherfuckers was mud structures. You didn't see no goddamn. Now you see skyscrapers all in goddamn Saudi Arabia. Where the fuck you think it come from? That's a complex knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't just everybody just up and building pyramids of their own and shit. You understand what I'm saying? And not understanding that there's geological connection, that the pyramids, the house of fire, is actually the volcanoes in Africa. You got to see that a lot of this information is geographical. You understand? Blueprints to the homeland of the people that created it. So you ending up with shit that you really don't have no geographical connection to. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what we have to break down here, that we're not just talking about no little shit. We talking about big shit that cannot be, sarcophaguses and shit with Medunetta and shit, got goddamn hieroglyphics on it. It's only been so many cultures on the planet that got hieroglyphs. You see what I'm saying? Now you got the Egyptians, you got the Olmecs, you got the Cretan, on the island of Crete, they had a hieroglyph, but it ain't that many as a language. You see a system, a secret coded language. It's not that many cultures on the planet that got a hieroglyph. You see what I'm saying? And so when you look and you start to take a goddamn list of so much shit, even when you go into these pyramids, in the Americas. And I'm, you know, if you want that smoke, I ain't got enough time to give you all this smoke today. But I'm gonna talk about these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals who brought this shit up, because what they was trying to do, they was looking for another homeland where they could say, well, mankind started here, because they knew they could not claim Africa. You see what I'm saying? And so them theosophists came up what they call the root races. You see what I'm saying? And they went back to some Hyperborean, ethereal. And see, when I heard them motherfuckers talking about that goddamn demiurge and all of that shit, I knew that was part of that Gnostic shit too, where they talking about a motherfucker was a spirit and shit. You didn't have no flesh. And this demiurge was like the god of materialism. And he took the ether beings and he trapped them in flesh because he was the god of the material world. You see what I'm saying? So when you listen to them theosophists, that's what they say. The first race was the Etherans. You understand? They was just ether. And then you got, I believe, the Hyperboreans came next. And, you know, they wasn't all the way physical, but they was more dense than the Etherean peoples. You understand? Which is pure energy and shit. You see what I'm saying? And so I say, oh, when I heard them motherfucker demiurges, I say, oh, he trapped motherfuckers that they was, yeah. That's where them theosophists got that shit from. They got that shit from that Gnostic shit. You see what I'm saying? That's where they got that from. You know, and so when you look at where they supposedly, the Etherans, their homeland was up there near the North Pole and the Hyperborean motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? They was up there in northern Europe. So according to the theosophists, see, they rerouted the course of humanity. Because after the Hyperboreans came Lemuria. Okay? Came Lemuria, and Lemuria was in the fucking Pacific Ocean. You see, and then each root race, civilization by some means, come, just like Atlantis is destroyed. And when Lemuria fell up under the water, the remnants of Lemurians went to what they say today is the Americas. This is how these motherfuckers is saying that they didn't come from Africa. See, let me show y'all this shit, man. Listen here, man. Y'all motherfuckers, see, y'all arms is too short to box with God. See, a motherfucker that didn't study longer, you understand, it could back this shit up. I was cracking these niggas' heads over goddamn 15 years ago. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm gonna bring this shit up. This motherfucker name is Augustus Le Plongeon. Plongeon. Okay, now it was a motherfucker before him, but Augustus Le Plongeon was the one that was the first motherfucker that went over there, a Cro-Magnon Neanderthal, and he went into Mexico to do some he went over there taking pictures and shit. You see what I'm saying? And so what he proposed was that the Mayans was actually the mother civilization. This is what he taught. But see, this motherfucker was before the Olmecs. He didn't even get a chance to see them find the Olmecs. He didn't live long enough to see all that shit come crumbling down. The Mayan ain't had shit to do with nothing. All that shit over there is the Olmecs put that there. The Mayans came late on the scene. Even what they keep talking about the Mayan calendar. What the fuck is the Mayan calendar? I can show you that classical Mayan civilization is in the AD period. The goddamn calendar go back to 3114 BC. How the fuck is it gonna be the Mayan calendar when they wasn't even around when the motherfucker was created? The fuck is y'all talking? They ain't got nothing. That's the Nile Valley calendar that the Olmecs brought over here, okay? Without no goddamn doubt. You understand? The Africans, you understand, mastered the stars. And not only did they master the star, because they were selling. They was all in, they was the ones that had the boat. I could show you the boats. Show me the goddamn boats to show me that any of them motherfuckers was going around the world. Yeah, I'm talking about maybe in a few areas. You understand what I'm saying? The Africans was navigating the world all the way around, east to west, west to east, okay? Especially in the Southern Hemisphere. That was the first world, is the Southern Hemisphere, starting from Africa, going into the Indian Ocean, going into the Pacific. You see what I'm saying? And so, yes, and they came from the Atlantic too. They came through the Mediterranean, through the Atlantic over here. Let's get real. They always want to show you some little ass, small ass boats. The goddamn Africans had barges. They were selling goddamn stone. They were selling obelisks that weighed damn near 1,000 motherfucking tons. 1,000 motherfucking tons down the damn Red Sea. You ain't selling had 2 goddamn obelisks on one damn bar. That, you understand? Both of them weighed damn near 1,000 tons. You ain't doing that on no goddamn canoe or no shit like that. They can't show you no develop that the Egyptians, they don't even want to show you how many different type of ships. They show you one goddamn ship. They don't even want to show you all the goddamn ships that they done found. They had a goddamn fleet of at least over 30 something different type of goddamn ships in ancient Egypt. 30. Goddamn it, y'all show a motherfucker one goddamn ship. They have barges in Egypt with 3 levels on that motherfucker. 3. Just like you looking at the goddamn cruise ship, because they had the windows on the motherfucker. So they had goddamn barges with 3 fucking floors on them, with windows on that motherfucker, with big ass, large ass. So we show, but they show you the little small, and even the little small. I ain't gonna say they medium sized boats made it across the Pacific. So, but and so I say, well, damn, and when I started doing the studying, I said, well, why would they experiment with the littler ships? You understand what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they have created the larger ships that they seen? Because they know goddamn well that they would have made it across without no problem. You see what I'm saying? They would have made it across the motherfucking ocean with no goddamn problem. That's the reality of it. You understand? But even the medium size, show me. And so they have to show me where any other people came to Africa in the ancient world. Show me the ships that y'all had, that y'all was on the ocean-faring ships. Now, I ain't talking about jumping. Now, in the Pacific, some of them in the Indian Ocean, but you still on the ocean. You can't play out there. You understand what I'm saying? You can't play out there. You wouldn't feel comfortable on no little ass ship on the Indian or any ocean, because one of them goddamn whales or one of them motherfucking sharks came up there and ate your motherfucking ass. They be showing motherfuckers on them damn what they call them, surfboards and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Man, them motherfuckers will come up there and knock your ass up out the water. So if you on some little small shit, you in trouble. So I'm quite sure that, that they had some serious ships that they was hitting them goddamn oceans with. Now, in the Indian Ocean and the Pacific and the Atlantic, you got a lot of islands out there where they, you thinking that they got to sail all the way across, and they don't. They can hop from island to island to island to get to where they're going. You see what I'm saying? But only the Africans had ships that can sail directly or fucking cross, big ass barges that could sail directly or goddamn cross. You understand what I'm saying? Without necessarily having, to stop at a goddamn island. Some of them goddamn ships were so big that they probably had every fucking thing that they needed on the goddamn ship, from water to food and every motherfucking thing else. They had all that shit on there. You see? And so when we start talking about Augustus Le Plongeon, who was a British, he was a British American archaeologist, okay? And like I said, he studied the pre-Columbian ruins of America, particularly those of the Mayan civilization on the northern Yucatan Peninsula. While his writings contain many notions that were not well received by his contemporaries and were later disproven, Le Plongeon left a lasting legacy in his photographs documenting the ancient ruins. He was one of the main proponents of what they call Mayanism, okay? Mayanism, in which sums it up that he's even saying that Egypt come out of the Mayan civilization. And that's a lot what these silly ass niggas, but that had been totally disproven even in his own time. Anybody that been to both civilizations know good and goddamn well you cannot explain no damn Egypt, not even by the Olmecs. And I give the Olmecs all the credit. You cannot explain. The Olmecs are the students of the Nile. They are not the masters. They could not duplicate what they saw in that. I'm just saying it in being 100. Even the Olmecs is students. They did not possess the great knowledge of the Nile Valley, but they possessed enough of it to mesmerize motherfuckers anywhere else. And that just show you how advanced the knowledge was. They did not possess they probably didn't even possess a fifth percent out of 100%. They didn't possess 1/5, 5%. I ain't gonna say 1/5, 5% out of 100%. They didn't even possess 5% of the ancient knowledge of the Nile Valley. But that 5% was enough to go anywhere else in the world and mesmerize the fuck out of them. That just showing you how potent the knowledge was. And so you see here, now you know what? I had this book all along. I didn't even know I had this motherfucker. I had been buying so many books and I didn't even know I had this. I got this book. Sacred Mysteries Among the Mayans and whatever they cheats, whatever the fuck that is. 11,500 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Their relationships to the sacred mysteries of Egypt, Greece, Chaldea, and India. Freemasonry. Now, he was a Freemason too. You understand? On top of it. You see right here, the origin of the Egyptians. Augustus Le Plongeon. You see, introductory preface by Manly P. Hall, another crackpot, another crackpot. And so it says here that by the 1880s, while most Mayanists accepted that the Mayan civilization post-dated ancient Egypt, anybody in their right goddamn mind would know that it shouldn't take that long because it ain't a motherfucking thing that you can find in Mexico that even coming close. Matter of fact, the shit that I saw in damn Mexico couldn't even fuck with what's in Nubia or even Ethiopia, Lalabella. You see what I'm saying? Let's stop this, man. They can't even touch Great Zimbabwe. You see, most of that shit then fell down. They got a couple things over there. And I give credit what credit is due. But when you talk about, the lineup, it ain't no fucking with Africa, man. Y'all got to stop this bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? All we had to do is compare temple for temple. That's all we got to do. We ain't got to talk. Let's bring that shit on, man. Let's show. Because the fact is, if you go, listen to me. If you go to fucking, what's that, Dubai, and you look at the Burj Khalifa, you see what I'm saying? You look at the Burj Khalifa, and then you go somewhere where they got a motherfucking 3-level building, and they done, goddamn well, when you look at the Burj Khalifa, you know good and goddamn well that it took far more advanced science to put the Burj Khalifa there than a 3-story small as. It don't take no rocket scientist. Y'all got to quit letting motherfuckers talk you out of the truth. You see what I'm saying? We talking about topsoil evidence. We're not talking about you got to dig for it. If a motherfucker put you in front of the Great Pyramid, you don't need a motherfucker to tell you shit. It's going to tell you every fucking thing you need to know. It's going to talk to you. You don't need no motherfucker to explain. You looking at this mind-blowing, what the fuck a motherfucker could tell you? And your spirit and your mind already been knocked out of your goddamn skull, nigga. You already know it's, and so they don't have that type of shit. So if you ain't got it, don't tell me your science is deep like this, and you ain't presented to us no topsoil evidence of your greatness. That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense to me at all. That they would say that without, and most of the shit over here is mounds. They're not pyramids, they're mounds. They got mounds in Africa. We used to make mounds in the backyard, just pile dirt up. That's all we do. You don't need no motherfucking science, dude. You just need some buckets and enough niggas that gonna dig up some dirt. My mama used to say, boy, quit digging all that goddamn dirt up in the backyard. We be out there digging shit and, quit putting holes in the backyard. You understand? All you need is a bucket, some buckets, and enough motherfucker to pile, and you dig, motherfucker, you take it to wherever, and you dump the bucket, motherfucker, and then it's a motherfucker that pat that shit down and try to even that shit out. You understand what I'm saying? Pat that shit down and even that shit out. You don't need no great science for that. You see what I'm saying? And though I give people credit, because some of the mounds are large, the fact is that the science is far beyond that. Okay, so if you gonna say that this one come out of this one, you understand what I'm saying? This the question I got to ask. This the motherfucking question I got to ask anybody. Listen to me. This when you look at and like I say, I don't even got to talk about the great, because a lot of time when you say the Great Pyramid and they show you Khufu, do you know it's over 130 some goddamn pyramids? Man, that ain't the only goddamn megalithic pyramid in Africa. That's not the only one. You see what I'm saying? That's not the only one. Now, the Great Pyramid is 40 stories. 40 stories. Okay? So, if you the source of if it come from anywhere else, motherfucker, just show me. We talking about the smallest stone on the Great Pyramid is like maybe seven tons. The heaviest is 100 tons. You see what I'm saying? So what I'll do, I cut your ass some slack. Just show me a structure on your soil that's 20 stories high. You ain't got to show me 140. Show me 120 stories high, made solely out of granite, of stones that at least weigh 5 tons. Just 5 tons. I'm going to go to the smallest fucking stone on the pyramid. So cut it in half, because you got to develop up. So before you could get to 40 stories, you got to go 20 stories. Okay? Okay? And matter of fact, I won't even go 20. I'll drop it down to a fourth. 10 stories. Okay? 10 stories. Okay? Now that's still a skyscraper. 10 stories is a skyscraper. So before you could get to 40, before you could get to 30, before you could get to 20, 10 goddamn stories of stones that weigh at least 5 tons a piece. That's the smallest stone that you can use. You understand what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I cut it to 5 stories. 5 fucking stories of just, you can't use nothing other than stone, granite. I'm not talking about mud. You can't have no mud. You can't have no mud, all right? You can't even, because a lot of them pyramids in America's got a mud, and look it up. When you look up freestanding structures, okay? Look up the tallest freestanding structures on the planet from ancient times to now, and you will not find No goddamn pyramid from the Americas, even on the list. Not even on the motherfucking list. Okay? Look it up. You can look it up right now. Just type it in. Tallest, and it'll come up. It'll come up in Wikipedia. And it'll show you from the ancient times to the modern time. Freestanding, that means you can't have no mound helping. It can't be helped to stand up. You can't have nothing, on the sides of it to keep it. Got to be freestanding, standing of its own structure, nothing else. And you won't even find a fucking pyramid from the Americas on it at all. No structure. No structure even got on the motherfucking list. So what the fuck is y'all talking about? So I know you can't compete. I'm just trying to say that right there, destroy it. Because you saying Le Plongeon saying it came from the Mayans is the mother culture. That's what he's saying. That's the other motherfucker, James Churchward. He created Mu. Okay. He created. Now, what's so crazy about James Churchward? His brother, Albert Churchward. Thank you, Wilson, brother. Thank you, good brother. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, he wrote Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man. And he said in that, he was one of the ones that said that civilization came from the beginning of the Nile, and I come to find out his brother actually created Mu, wrote all them books on Mu. And so if you saying that the knowledge came from any other place, you got to show me how you developed up. You understand? You can't claim that you built a pyramid and then when I go to where, listen, they can't, not one culture, show me a structure where 5 stories, they can't even do 5 stories. 5 stories of solid stones. I don't know what the measurement of them stones is on the pyramid. I'm going to get the exact measurement. And it got to be made from exactly the same measurement of stone is on that pyramid. And I'm going to the least stone, which is 5 tons. Now I could go up to 100, goddammit, because it's over 100. I mean, they got damn structures in Egypt made out of one solid stone block. You understand what I'm saying? Statues and obelisks that weigh damn near 1,000 tons made from one block. Okay? So when you got that type of, it's going to be a lot of development before you get there. So any culture, I don't give a fuck which one it is, if they can show me a structure in a land with the same measurement of blocks that's on that Great Pyramid, the Great Pyramid is 40 structures of 40 stories. Motherfucker, show me one 5 stories, nigga. I ain't even trying to get to 10. 5 fucking stories. 5 fucking stories with them size blocks. And you gonna try to claim a building that's 40 stories tall with all these motherfucking blocks, over 2 million blocks, with the least weighing fucking 5, and you can't even show me one structure on the whole motherfucking continent. Even that shit over there in what they want to call Peru, where they got some megalithic shit over there. Yeah, it's a wall, but it's just a wall. I can show you for 3,000 years. Man, them motherfucking stones that's over there in Abydos, in the Osirian, where the temple or where Osiris was supposed to be buried, behind the temple of Abydos, man, that's the most megalithic temple in all of Egypt. Man, they got so many damn stones on that temple that we talking about, man, it's 100 tons. It's about at least 30, 40 damn 100 ton or more. 100-ton stones, one block. So when we talk about we showing that Egypt did it for over 3,000 years. From the very beginning all the way to the end, that they moved megalithic stone, that they were carving megalithic stone. The Olmecs never got there. Them Olmecs heads is about they had another statue where they was about 80, it was about 80 tons. It was sitting on top of one of them pyramids at Teotihuacan. It was sitting on, and they took it. It's in the Museum of Mexico. The only other one that weighed, that was about 80, I believe that one was about 80 tons. That was about 80 tons. And then you got some of the Olmec heads that they weighed from about, I believe it was 7 tons up to about 30, 40 tons. You see what I'm saying? About 30, 40 tons. That's it. They didn't have no pyramids built with no stones like that. And so you can't show in Mesopotamia, they out of there. They out of there. India, they out of there. They don't have nothing on that level. They can stop it. And they know they don't. So no other people on this motherfucking planet have any structures in their land where they could think they could claim what's in Egypt. That's a fucking lie. If you let them motherfuckers, magicians of the tongue talk you into it, that's on you. But you can see that science is totally an African science. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the strongest crane that say 150. I seen them. They took that. I seen when they had took the strongest crane to Egypt, and we talking about them goddamn them big ass blocks that's down there in the down in Giza. I believe it's called the Valley Temple, and right down there, man, they got them long ass blocks. Man, they tried to. It wasn't even one of the largest blocks. Man, they tried to pick that motherfucker up and the crane popped. And this was the largest fucking crane on the goddamn planet. And motherfuckers thinking the sciences of today is more advanced than Egypt. Get the fuck out of here. That shit that these motherfuckers got and can't even compare. Let's get real about it. Let's get fucking, we think we more advanced today. We're not. The goddamn science is far behind where it was in Egypt. And the fuck, we think that when you look at the pyramids, every other science in Egypt was on the same fucking level as their architecture. You think they was just lacking and they build into the damn sky? And if they was as advanced in every other motherfucking science on the planet, you understand, as they was in architecture. You see? So this is the motherfucker that in James Church were. These was the motherfucker. They was looking because they could not explain themselves by way of Africa. So they was looking for, and so the way they got it, and I'm gonna move on. The way they got it is that once Lumeria, some James Church words say Mu. Okay. Now some of them motherfuckers ain't even on the same page because Augustus Le Plongeon, he said that Lemuria was actually in the Atlantic. So they trying to say that his version of Lemuria is probably Atlantis. But then you got James Church word that say that it was in the Pacific. Okay. And he say when it sunk, then remnants of the Lemurians came to the Americas. All that Mount Shasta and shit and all of that, those are supposed to be remnants of Lemuria. You see what I'm saying? And so he's saying, and from here, they came here, and then remnants of them established Atlantis. You see, so Lemuria was before Atlantis. And so, you know, they came here and then they went into the Atlantic and they found Atlantis. And then after Atlantis sunk, then remnants of the Atlanteans went into Africa. That's what they saying. And that they, you know, they supposedly took the knowledge from Atlantis to Egypt. And this is where you get all that Serapis Bay and all that crazy shit that they be talking in the occult. Serapis Bay, who's supposed to be a priest from Atlantis that went to Egypt and found the temple of fire and all this shit. Yeah, I'm hip. I'm hip to all of that shit. But they've been, and like I say, to kill anything, I don't want to hear nothing about shit. Until anybody out there, I don't give a fuck what continent you want. I don't give a fuck what nation you claim. If you can show me in the BC period, a motherfucker, you can show me one in the AD period. I wouldn't give a fuck. If you can show me a structure, I didn't say 40 stories. I said 5 stories with the same dimension of stone that's on that pyramid. 5 stories high. If you could just show me that, then we could talk. If you can't show me that, we ain't got shit to say. Because if you can't even show me 5 stories, how in the fuck is you going to be the origin of a pyramid that's 40 stories to the sky with goddamn 2 million stones on it? You understand what I'm saying? Stop playing with me. I ain't that goddamn foolish. And so y'all niggas could keep out there quacking. You understand what I'm saying? We already got y'all numbers. This is General Sarasu and said he's saying, A, arm yourself with knowledge. We ain't going nowhere. Hit some of them links. Support your general. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. We'll be right black. Don't go nowhere. Black power.